Alright, you beautiful people, Kanzi here, bringing you episode 45 of Kenshi Age of Blood and Sand Iron Man playthrough. We are not in a good situation in this episode. Last episode we got attacked twice by the Southern Hive, their first attack and now the second attack coming through, which is their final assault. Their final assault has got a bunch of special characters in it who are crazy powerful. There's a bunch of Praetorians in this and a whole ton of drone elite guards who are surprisingly good at what they do, and that is taking my hive down apparently. What we've been doing is our best strategies so far is we've been trying to hold the station house and then get into the healing pod as soon as we can. Okay, Munch has just died as well. We lost 3 hives last episode. 2 of them were unfortunate, and that was Tuscan and Spencer. They were both up and fighting and then essentially got one-shotted by the Royal Praetorian Executioner, who is crazy powerful. We have been trying to take him down for a while, but he has already defeated Lidus in pretty much one-on-one combat, and he's also been taking Ray down more times than I care to count. Also, the other Praetorians have started to bunch up, which is making them very difficult to deal with. Nippy is mainly outside the base at the moment, picking off stragglers, which is super useful because that means they can't come back in and join the fight. Nippy's really good at tearing their limbs off, and he does crazy high bleed damage. So as soon as he gets a couple attacks off, they are pretty much out of the fight. And because Nippy's a good boy, he is stopping them from being able to heal each other, which is super useful. So for me to say we are in a good situation in this episode would be a straight up lie. We have to get everyone healed up the best that we can, which has been going surprisingly well. A lot of my other hives, they're set on passive and they're going around and they've been doing a good job of stopping my other hives from bleeding out. It is not perfect. We are losing people occasionally, but it's not super common. But what is killing our guys off is when they get back up and then they get attacked by the Royal Executioner, who just basically just kills them in one shot. And yet again, one more hive down. So that was Hans has gone down as well. Not a massive loss. He was a useful member of the hive. But once this attack is over, I think what we do is we just pack everybody up and then we just go straight down to the Ashlands for the last do or die attack to take out Catline. Because staying here isn't going to be very useful. We don't need to, and also rebuilding is going to take a very long time. So I reckon we just do one final assault and then see if we can finish the game after this. But Nippy, yet again, just doing fantastically well. Super good at what he does. Useless against the Praetorians. They absolutely shred him because their weapons do crazy high bleed damage, crazy high damage, and they just absolutely shred Nippy. Unfortunately, we have just lost Robo. Robo is my most important hive prince because he is the guy that produces most of our robotics. So after this fight, without him, we are going to struggle to be able to replace the limbs on the hives who have lost the limbs. And unfortunately, Cross-Eye has gone down. Cross-Eye was a sub-recommended name, and unfortunately he didn't make it. We did give him some really good armor last episode, so I think that Royal Executioner must have got in close and just got a very lucky attack off, which is a shame. Spencer and Tuscan, when they went down, they weren't wearing head armor, so it makes sense for why they got killed off. But for a hive to be in heavy masterwork plate to be killed off is unfortunate. Ore is now down as well, so we are starting to lose our hives at a very quick rate. I think the issue is where they're getting up to try and heal the others, the Praetorians are just picking them off as they're trying to heal. So the sooner we can deal with these Praetorians, the better it's going to be. They are extremely tough, very well equipped, very well trained and very well armed. So fighting them is very difficult, and they're going around in a pack of 3 or 4. If I can find a way to split the pack, then we are going to have a better chance of taking them down. But for right now, what I think the best thing we can do is continue trying to get our Praetorians into the healing pod so they can stay in the fight. We have now just lost Chain, which is a little bit upsetting. Chain was a very good armourer and has been with us for quite a while. Unfortunately, he has gone down. It must have been another Praetorian. I have been keeping a fairly close eye on my guys to make sure they're not bleeding out, but the Praetorians do so much damage that they can just cut through the armour and take the guys down. What we would really like is we'd like the city guard to get back up and be into the fight, but the city guard aren't very good fighters, unfortunately. They are put in heavy plate for the idea to tank. My slave rescue are my better fighters, but they are in lighter armour just so they can have the dexterity so that they can actually fight against the Praetorians, because some of their guys are crazy. What we are going to do is Photo is now on minus 30 health. We're going to send him upstairs and put him into the bed, because even a drone guard at the moment, if they catch him in the chest, that is GG for Photo. Photo was pretty much our first hive that we recruited, so I want Photo to survive this playthrough. He's done very well so far. He's been MVP more than a few times, so I want to make sure that he survives. So we're going to put him to the bed. It might cost us some other hives, but I'm willing to trade them for Photo right now. Not saying that I've got favourites, but there's definitely hives that I prefer more than others. The guys that are crawling around that we're going to send them towards the workshop. Once we can get them in the workshop, ideally we can put some new limbs onto them. With those new limbs, what I can do is, because they'll be nice and quick, I can run them around and pick up the guys that I need and put them into the bed. So this way we'll have the healing pods going, and then we'll also have some beds being there to heal people up. But at the moment, Ray is fighting 3 Praetorians and a 4th's coming in. He does not stand a chance. I mean, it's going to be some very, very good training for him, but he will never win this fight. What I am thinking is we can use Ray at the moment to run about. What we can do is, with him running around, we can keep the other Praetorians focused on him, so then they're not going off attacking my other hives. This will buy us time to get our guys into the bed and into the healing pods. So hopefully by the time Ray goes down, Lidus should be healed up, and I should have a couple more hives in a situation where they can fight. This would be super useful. We're going to drop the Tempest Stampede so that he can fight with his katana. If he's fighting with his katana, he's going to be able to attack quicker or go down. That's another option. Okay, Lidus is up. If we can get him into the healing pod, we have a better chance. The katanas that they're using are very, very good just because of their attack speed. At the moment, most other weapons just do not have the speed to be able to even hit the Praetorians. So the best bet we got is, katanas aren't very good against people in armor, but this way my guys can actually get hit off. There's no point my guys fighting with like some weapons with really good armor penetration and really good blunt damage if they can't even get an attack off and just get chain attacked. So that is what we're going to do, is we're going to start using the katanas more. We're sending GNU to the robotics bed, so hopefully he can heal up and get back into the fight. Lidus is taking his sweet time because both his legs are mashed up. Ray is now back up, which is pretty ideal. He went down super quick last time, but then that is what happens when you fight 4 Praetorians. Issue was, almost every hit that hit him managed to catch him on the chest, so it just added up and took him down in sweet all time. Looks like he has bitten off more than he's going to be able to chew this time round. Yeah, he wasn't up for long at all. I mean, so long as we can get some damage off, we're always going to be better off because we got the healing pod so we can stay in the fight. Copper is dead as well, which isn't a massive surprise. He was just a worker drone, and with the damage that Executioner can do, he can kill people in 1 or 2 hits. And now Atini is down as well. Yeah, we are not going to have much in the way of production left after this fight. Not a massive issue because, like I said, what I reckon we'll do, we'll go around, scavenge all the kit that we can from the guys that have gone down, so that'll be like robotic limbs, medipacks, any equipment that's going to be worth taking, and then we just consolidate our forces, and if we survive we move down to the Ashlands to finish off Catlon, because right now we are not in a great position, and if it wasn't for this healing pod we definitely would be dead by now. But I guess what we've got to do is we just got to try to hold off long enough for the Southern Hive assault to end or to be defeated, and then from there we can just pick off the stragglers and hopefully we can get an advantage. Actually, this might be the turning point. So we managed to take a Praetorian down and we've stripped them of their gear. If we can do that to each of the Praetorians that we knock down, each time they get back up, they won't be able to fight nearly as well. So we leave their leg plates on so they can't use their martial arts. We take the plate armor off their chest, so then we can do full damage to them. And where they are spread out at the moment, we should be able to focus them down like one at a time. Lidus is fully healed up and he's just tearing through them. He just took down their general, so we've now managed to strip him of his black carapace armor, which I think is going to go very well on photo. I think he deserves an upgrade from his leather trench coat. So this is actually starting to look really good for us. If we can start focusing the Praetorians down, like I said, they are their main damage dealer and they are the only ones that are keeping them in the fight. Their drones we can deal with, they will not be an issue, but it's those Praetorians and the amount of damage they can kick off. And what happens is the Praetorians end up tanking for the drones, and then they get the 5 slots filled and we get into a bunch of trouble. But it looks like we are clearing out nicely. There isn't as many Southern Hives in here at the moment. There are still a few, so we still need to be careful, but we are clearing through and it is looking good for Lidus's hive. I'm not going to jinx myself and say that we won, because I keep jinxing myself, but we are in a far better situation now. We're going to have some other guys coming up. We're going to be able to heal our guys on the ground, so even if the Praetorians maybe got aggro somewhere else and we'll be back soon, we won't need to worry about our guys bleeding out. The only guys we have to worry about are the guys that are up at the moment, but everyone that's up at the moment is pretty capable of defending themselves. I will send as many of them to the beds as I can, as if a fight kicks off now they won't be much use, but them healing up, hopefully if something goes wrong we will be able to call on them and they'll be in a situation to defend themselves. Okay, so we have the Executioner and we have had Praetorian come back in, so that's 1 Praetorian down, and then it's the 3 of us on the Executioner. So Lance is now down, it's leaving Nippy and Lidus against the Executioner. We've done his arms in so he can't use his sword, he can use his martial arts, and somehow he is still crazy powerful, but now he is going to try and run away. We won't let him run away because we have a bone to pick with him, and I'm thinking what would be a fitting punishment for someone that has killed so many of our hives. I reckon we get him and we turn him into a jacket. A little bit twisted, but it's going to be a grim reminder to anyone else that tries to hunt down Lidus's hive that that is what happens if you try to take us down. And this will be a grim reminder to anyone that will try to take down Lidus's hive that this is what will happen to his enemies. Now all we got to do is chase him down. He is deceptively quick and mobile, so hopefully we'll be able to get him pinned somewhere. Maybe he'll bleed out from the blood loss and then we can get him, and we are going to put him into the peeler machine. We will take his armor first because I reckon that'll be a nice addition to one of my hives. It's an impressive bit of kit, offers some crazy high protection, so it'll be a nice addition. And then we'll find, okay, they have just disappeared. I am not sure what's happened there. He best not run away because I want that jacket. Alright, he has just straight up disappeared. I cannot find him anywhere. We managed to change Photo's armor over to the black hive for carapace, and hopefully he might show up because I have a vendetta against him now. So we hope that he does. What we're going to do in the meantime is heal the guys up the best that we can. The attack seems to now be over. We're going to take the robotic limbs off the dead and any parts that we need, and then we're going to try to get the hive in a situation where they can move out, so we will start to head down to the Ashlands. It's a shame about Chain. He was a good prince hive. He was made lots of suits of armor for us. These things happen. It's Kenshi. So we're just going to go around, check what we can, consolidate, and then move forward. Thankfully our guys haven't started to despawn yet, which is something I do need to keep an eye on, because that is always super annoying once your guys start to spawn and you lose kit. So we're going to go round and strip as much kit as we can. Found this cheeky Western Hive here. He's got some pretty decent stats, and yet again he's put up one decent fight, so we're going to heal him up and we will join him onto Slave Rescue. We found Spencer and Tuscan, and they both pretty much got the same injury, both got hit to the stomach. It doesn't look like it was bleed, it looks like it was an actual attack that took them out. But going around and looking at the other hives, most of them have died not from bleed damage but from a natural attack itself. So that executioner has taken a lot of us out, and now we have found him. Right, what we're going to do is we are going to take the blackened hive carapace off him. I'll give this to one of my drones, I'm not sure which. I might give it to Tychus for the moment and then probably get Tychus and William to change armor sets, but it won't really matter too much because everyone is heading down to the Ashlands for the last battle. But now we have the executioner, I think it's only fair that we give him a proper treatment of putting him into the peeling machine, so one of my guys can wear the executioner's skin as a jacket.
Rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Would not want to be the executioner right now. He is in for a bad time. I was half tempted to go down to Verge and drop him off to the Oni, but I figured that was a bit harsh. We might as well do it ourselves. Not that this has taken a dark turn, and not that I'm bitter at the executioner for wiping out a bunch of my favourite hives, but I think this is a fair retribution against him. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to need to bring this episode to an end. So thank you very much for watching episode 45 of Kenshi, Age of Blood and Sand. I have been Conti. All your likes, comments, subs, support have been amazing. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you for the final battle.